discovery of Botswana's largest diamond. Community policing clusters hailed for helping reduce crime.
And in sports, preparations progressing well for the national under-20 soccer team for both the CAF under-20 AFCON and COSAFA qualifiers.
Good evening. Interpreting in sign language is Topo Taposa. Lucara Diamond has made a historic discovery of a 2.492 carat diamond at Karua Diamond Mine, which is Botswana's largest discovery and the second largest in the world since 1905. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi attributed this grand finding to, among other things, Botswana's notable mining standards and good governance. He added the value of authentic diamonds, which Botswana is renowned for, and how such has been integral to Botswana's diamonds for development history. He cited the value of authentic diamonds, which Botswana is renowned for, as an integral part of Botswana's diamonds for development. Utsidile Onkabetse reports.
Globally reputed for its historic mining discoveries over the years, Botswana is home to some of the most famed and rare gems, such as Sewelo, Situnya and Lesedi la Rona, among others. In yet another undeniably monumental discovery, this is by far the most remarkable, standing at 2.492 carats.
What? I'm supposed to show Botswana in the world how important mining, good governance, particularly diamond mining, is to Botswana. They mean everything to us, in the good times and the bad times. Diamond prices are going through a very difficult time right now, but yet every diamond remains precious and valuable.
Yeah, true that. And hospitals and everything else.
Yeah. Kids going to school.
Of course.
Food coming in. More bulls being imported. Water. Journalists trained. Or owning CNN. It's a diamond.
Yes, of course. So that
it's a real diamond coming from a real country. Yeah. Brought up by real people.
Yes, of course.
Impacting real people. Well done, really.
Thank you very much, sir.
This is precious.
Botswana, in terms of the leaderboard, the top 10, we are 80% of the stones that are in the top 10 are Botswana diamonds. 70% of them come from Lucara, Botswana. So we're proudly Botswana on the top 10 leaderboard of diamonds.
New technologies have taken the world by storm, with rapid advancements and innovations becoming a game changer in mining operations, with obvious benefits also felt in the diamond mining space.
Technology is the way to go nowadays. We're talking about innovation, we're talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about a lot more of these technologies that are coming up, and we need to embrace them. Contrary to what people might think, technology is not here to replace people. Because technology is done by people, it needs to be mastered by people, it needs to be taken care of by people. Therefore, technology will always work hand in hand with people. But it helps us to actually get to where we want to get much faster than we would otherwise have done if we are just using people. Therefore, we need to embrace each and every element of technology that is coming through. Especially noting artificial intelligence now is really coming into the mining space, coming into this beneficiation space.
You'll never be able to produce such a big diamond through a lab. So that already tells you that real is better than growing in the lab. I mean, this is history in the making. This is 2,492 carats worth of diamonds that have been produced in Mother Earth. You're never going to get that. And the sentiments around it is that when we unearth this stone here or this diamond, there's beneficiation there coming through. Botswana benefit from these stones. None of us here can say we haven't benefited from the Botswana diamond. So for me, when I talk about 2,492 carats, I'm thinking of empowering Botswana, provenance, making sure that people understand what our diamonds actually do for Botswana.
What now lies ahead for Lucara is to chart a path forward on what to do with this gem in order to derive maximum benefit from its sale for the benefit of Botswana and the country's development. Utsidile Onkabetsi, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Commissioner of Police, Ms. Diana Marate, says they have recorded a decline in crime since the introduction of community policing through clusters. Speaking at the 12th Cluster National Awards held in Francistown this morning, Ms. Marate reiterated Botswana Police Service commitment to partner with the community as they cannot win the fight against crime without their involvement. Bethany Mando has more.
In order to best strengthen community policing, the Botswana Police Service introduced the clusters in 2008, and 4 years later, the Law Enforcement Agency held its first ever Community Cluster Awards to recognize their role in crime prevention. The number of clusters have increased sharply to 750, and their duty has been clearly defined to work together with the police in formulating and implementing innovative solutions towards the fight against crime in line with government priorities and achieve Vision 2036 aspirations.
We should equally commit to implementing national priorities as pronounced by His Excellency the President through the Government Reset and Reclaim agenda. As your police service, we would continue to align our mandate with government priorities and digitize our key processes whilst adopting a mindset that prioritizes the voice of the customer in improving service delivery.
Let's have gatherings for men and boys, such as crime much of the time is inclined towards men and a boy child.
But I want to thank the Commissioner of Police and the Botswana Police Service in general, for the sterling job that you are doing in curbing crime in this country.
The annual awards are divided into 4 categories, and under Best Performing Cluster, a total of 17 clusters were awarded. The Best Police Station award went to Soronga. Lobata District is named the Best Performing Police District, while North Central Division went away with the Minister's Award. This year's awards came at the bedrock of a historic successful graduation of 1,000 police officers and the start of the construction of 28 police stations across the country to improve access to law enforcement services. Bethany Manto, BTV News, Francistown.
The Director of Responsible Gambling and Corporate Affairs at the Gambling Authority, Mr. Murunzi Kimurwale, says the authority upholds public inclusion and transparency in its operations. He says the public hearing of applications for some gambling machine licenses is testament to this commitment. Mr. Kimurwale made the remarks in an interview following the authority's public hearing for payout machines in Gaborone, where a total of 16 companies had shown interest. The
gambling sector continues to flourish as an industry with new developments that are being implemented to regulate establishments. Speakers at the public hearing by Botswana Gambling Authority emphasized the importance of such when they were listening to the applicants who presented their cases before the board in Gaborone.
I'm informed by management of the authority that after the request for application was published inviting interested parties to apply for gambling machines with limited bets and payouts, 7 companies responded by submitting 16 applications during the period of 15 to 18 January 2024. I was further informed that there were robust investigations conducted to verify the accuracy of the information submitted and to assess its adequacy in responding to the request for applications.
Many applications were received, but only a few made it through, which now are presenting their companies before the board.
The
most important thing is that we as a gambling authority, we want to emphasize that there is need to have responsible gambling, even as we issue licenses. We know that it is an industry that leads to addiction, but we have put focus on developing policies to protect the public.
ba di-masters le ba PhD gore ba re thuse go dira dipatlisiso tse di tsamaelanang le one go babalesega ga one motshameko oneo.
Gambling is better regulated under laws that would help to protect the sector and to help it make a significant contribution to the country's GDP. Solefela Tombali, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Monetary Policy Committee of Bank of Botswana has reduced the monetary policy rate from 2.5% to 1.9%. Speaking at a press briefing to update the nation on the decision taken by Bank of Botswana, the governor, Mr. Cornelius de Koop, said the Bank of Botswana knows that despite government commitment to stimulate non-mining sector through potential growth enhancing economic transformation reforms, the prospects are significant growth are still not visible. Mpho Kileboge reports.
The Monetary Policy Committee of Bank of Botswana project that the economy will continue to operate below full capacity into the medium term and should not generate demand-driven inflationary pressure. And as a result, the current economic conditions and the outlook for both domestic and external economic activity will provide a scope to ease the monetary policy.
For Botswana, it is projected by the IMF that GDP growth for Botswana will be lower than earlier forecast during 2024, down to 1% from the earlier estimate of 3.6% that they had made, partly due to the downturn in the diamond industry performance, given the global weak demand and high inventories of diamonds across the value chain.
As reported in the quarterly review, the Monetary Policy Committee forecasts inflation to remain low into the medium term, averaging 3% in 2024, 3.2% in 2025, and 4.7% in 2026.
The current economic situation and conditions, ladies and gentlemen, and the outlook for both domestic and external economic activity provides scope to ease monetary policy. Consequently, the MPC has again decided to reduce the monetary policy rate by a further 25 basis points to 1.9% as the base level. We hope that this decision, taken together with the other two decisions that we have taken in the past, in December and in June, will assist, stimulate the economy, assist intermediation in the sector, in the banking sector, in the financial sector, assist in a small way as monetary policy to grow the economy.
As previously indicated, the Monetary Policy Committee observed that inflation could be higher than projected if international commodity prices increase beyond the current forecast. Mpho Kileboge, Botswana Television, Gaborone.
The Gauteng District Council and Otjiwarongo Municipality from Namibia have signed a twinning annual plan agreement for 2024-2025. Speaking at the council session in Muchudi, the Gauteng District Council chairperson, Mr. Daniel Moloko, shared that the agreement is intended to uplift the livelihoods of residents of the two councils. Jessica Pilani.
The two councils chairpersons signing a memorandum of agreement of working together. This agreement will allow the duo to work together and share information on resources on various spheres, which includes environmental health, technical services, socio-economic development, amongst others. This gesture is a follow-up of the initial 2017 agreement, which was not implemented.
We have decided to revitalize and review this very important agreement and also to put it into effect. There are various cooperation agreements that we have agreed on, and we, as the Council of Otjiwarongo and the Council of Gauteng, we want to put it into effect for the benefit of our residents and also make it a milestone into our localities. This is not only for us, but it is for our generations to come.
At a year long of inactive in our training agreement, we hope that this meeting will instill confidence in those tasked with implementing the training activities, that is the JTC. Your worship and your team, we hope the signing will cause us to implement the plan as prepared by our JTC.
This agreement is anticipated to bear fruits in the next 2 years for the benefit of the locals of the two districts as well as generations to come. Jessica Pilane, BTV News, Muchudi.
The Tokafala Enterprise Development Program Director, Ms. Montle Putero, says the program offers training to existing businesses to enhance their business skills and offers the youth coaching, mentoring and monitoring to develop their professional skills. Ms. Putero was speaking at the graduation of 118 graduates of the Tokafala Enterprise Development Program in Maung. Atlasaone Kinelwe.
Ms. Monteputero said the Tokafala Enterprise Development Program started back in 2020. She acknowledged all sponsors that have been assisting the program, such as the government, the BOTSWANA Diamond Company, the BS Group, and Anglo-American. She pointed out that there were 30 graduates from the Enterprise Development Program and 88 youths from the Youth Development Program.
We recruit enterprises that have already started businesses, and we take them through 10 months intensive mentorship, training, coaching, monitoring. And our focus for the Youth Development Program is the youth who are unemployed. As we know, we are struggling as a country with a very high unemployment rate for our youth. So we target these youth. Some of them are interested in looking for jobs, and some of them are interested in starting their businesses.
We developed our business plans, and then from the business plans we were taught various things, like identifying our customers, developing pricing strategies, giving us confidence as well in terms of pitches, and a whole lot of things that really constituted into now helping us to be who we are in terms of having solid background on how to develop a business plan and also to have the confidence to take it further.
It was in 2019 when I started my business called Shinga Lodge. It is a lodge. Back then it was a 5-occupancy guest house. I started it during the COVID pandemic and things were very difficult to handle. I had to pay my employees from my salary. I continued despite the challenges, and in 2021, I learned of Tokafala Enterprise Development Program. I enrolled in the program where we were taught various things like bookkeeping and how to expand and market a business. Ms. Putero said after engaging with entities like LEA, they decided that the Enterprise Development Program should mainly focus on e-commerce. She said this was after the realization that it is important to go the digital route, pointing out that some of these businesses have been able to create their own websites for the first time and make international contacts. Atlasaone Kenilwe, BTV News, Maung.
Residents of Mahalape and surrounding areas have been urged to take part in fighting the abuse of drugs, especially the youth. The call was made by the Minister of Defense and Security, Mr. Kagiso Musi, during the Drug Awareness Day in Mahalape. Love more, Mario.
Research and statistics from the Drug Enforcement Agency reveal that Botswana is being rampaged by high rate of drug abuse, and this usage has intruded the schools as students are often caught with the drugs. The director of Drug Enforcement Agency, Mr. Pemelo Ramakurani, said drugs such as marijuana, methamphetamine, daga and others are common ones.
The police have indicated that numbers of people apprehended for possession of drugs have increased as they are investigating 39 cases for the past 7 months.
Re itemogetse gore mo balwetseng ba re ba bonang e le ba go tweng ke outpatient mme ba amana le tiriso ya ditagi ba dira between 3 and 5% ya malwetse a mangwe otlhe a ra bonang a tiriso ya ditagi.
The Minister of Defense and Security, Mr. Kagiso Musi, said it is high time for parents to join hands together with parastatals and other law enforcement agencies to fight drug abuse.
People who sell these drugs target school children in order to make them addicted. They can even give children free drugs, knowing that when they get addicted, they will start buying more, and at times the students may even start selling these drugs.
Parents were urged to always be observant of any suspicious behavior from their children and report to relevant authorities for help. Lavmo Mario, BTV News, Mahalape.
In international news, Nigeria is currently battling drug abuse, as statistics by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency shows that 14.4%, that is 14.3 million people in the 15 to 64 age group abuse drugs, with cannabis being the leading drug in the nation.
Many adolescents can be seen in the streets of cities in Nigeria having consumed drugs. Many of them run away from their homes and their parents do not know where they are. Mostly relapsed from rehab and went back to the streets. Major drugs include cocaine, heroin, meth, cannabis, and some inhalers.
I am enjoying it here. In fact, all of us you see here love it. Anyone among us can't leave this place. Even if you take us to our parents, we must return because we love it. I want someone to take me back to my parents. I am sure even my mom has forgotten about me, or she possibly thought I am dead by now. I am a cannabis smoker.
Lack of parental care and poverty have been attributed to drug use in Nigeria.
The major reason addicts in Nigeria return to drug abuse are two. The first one is lack of parental guide and training. The second reason is poverty in many homes.
Some parents of drug users share their grievances.
I have 2 drug addict sons. I have been bringing them close to me and it is helping. One has stopped and the other has reduced.
In May, the Nigeria Senate proposed passing the death penalty law for drug traffickers to deal with substance abuse. The move was, however, met with heavy criticism from rights groups calling it regressive. Lana Lehwale, BTV News.
It is time for sport with Hosoro.
Good evening, Khomseho. I hope you're well indeed. Oh, the laughter means it all indeed. Says it all, that you indeed wonderful. Let me thank you, Khomutso, and greetings to you all. This is Hosoro bringing to you BOTSWANA Tonight Sports News, and with that, let's get straight into it and start with athletics news. And of course, at the ongoing Diamond League in Lausanne, Switzerland, Colin Kibinatsipi finished in third position in the men's 400 meters race in a time of 44.22 seconds, recording a personal best. The race was won by Matthew Hudson-Smith from the USA in 43.96 seconds, while Muzala Samukonga of Zambia finished in second in a time of 44.06 seconds. Lizette Tebogo will also compete tonight in the men's 200 meters race at 9:42 p.m. Moving on, the Botswana Football Association BFA Technical Director Kaelo says the preparations are progressing smoothly for the national under-20 team as CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifiers and COSAFA tournament edge closer. Kaelo said this on the sidelines of the under-20 team match practice. Sapoki Himile and Kagiso Mulelekwa compiled the report.
Kaelo said the team has been impressive since going to camp, and they've shown that with a few friendly matches they will be ready to compete.
We are going to
the tournament with a mandate of qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations. Furthermore, our biggest aim is to be the first juniors to qualify for the AFCON tournament. We have a very good team, and I want to thank all those who have been working on this team. Should this program be taken seriously, success will be guaranteed.
Kaelo
further said that they have already played a number of friendly matches against local lower division sides.
I think this is our third game. We played the City Polar Malova last week.
This is our third game. We played City Polar and UB Hawks last week, and we emerged victorious in both fixtures. On Friday, we are playing the Zebras. Then we have a friendly match against Mozambique, and we have also lined up some more preparatory games. If the budget allows, we will also play outside the country.
Let's say the resources permitting, because 2 weeks preparative.
On the other hand, Kaelo commended the Botswana National Sport Commission program, which has incorporated young talented players to showcase their talents in the absence of school sport.
Qualification AFCON. So it's good for us.
We are launching this program with young players as we are preparing for Africa Cup of Nations. And this shows that despite the absence of school sport, we have managed to identify a few talented players, and securing an AFCON spot will be a massive feat.
Which can be the very first qualifier to go to the AFCON. So it's good preparation for us for the tournament.
The national under-20 team is expected to compete at the CAF Under-20 AFCON and COSAFA qualifiers scheduled from the 25th of September to the 6th of October 2024. Tsepoki Himile, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Botswana Football Association's Youth Development Officer Udirile Matlhako says Botswana National Sport Commission's Matlhakolatsela program will play a significant role in developing and nurturing talent, especially as it is aligned to the association's mandate. Matlhako noted this at the BNAC Matlhakolatsela program activation event here in Gaborone. Kagiso Mulelekwa and Tsepoki Himile compiled the report.
The Matlhakolatsela program is focused on talent identification and development, something which goes alongside Botswana Football Association's mandate.
Our pathway, we should have, for example, grassroots. And Banaba grassroots have a graduate de la guy, or even Bakukai. So we develop them, or they have been identified by developing further. Further, the pathway says from grassroots we go to youth development. And how do we youth development? We are looking at Zonedikwele. At the same time, the regions are on playing youth football. And as they are playing youth football, we continue identifying talented players.
Mathaku further said, as the BFA, they have come up with various ways to ensure that the program becomes a success and brings forth positive results.
Identify youth football where we have, for example, activities in or weekend down at the block tournaments. the under 15s and under 17s boys and girls ba participate kana ba compete teng the regional select or the regional squads, and as they are playing the regional select or the regional squads, we select the block squad, and those block squads national competition. In other words, the block and as they are playing we select the best players. So these best players under 15 boys and girls, under 17 boys and girls, and the base that the national teams are on.
The Matawalasala program will include various sporting codes such as football, volleyball, softball and netball among others, and will see various centers of sport excellence taking part in the initiative. Kariso Morelekwa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk. Until we meet tomorrow, have a good night. And now let's take a look at the headlines with Khomozo.
Thank you so much. Jose Khoki be making the nation proud in less than 10 minutes. The Buholizile will be doing the same. The nation waits in anticipation.
We must rally behind our boy, our schoolboy, and of course, we are expecting a stellar performance from him, and as well as Colin Kibinatsipe. Congratulations to him for making the personal best indeed.
Jose giving us the latest in sport. Let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. Lucara Diamond make the historic discovery of Botswana's largest diamond. Community policing clusters hailed for helping reduce crime.
And in sports, the preparations progressing well for the national under-20 soccer team for both the CAF under-20 AFCON and COSAFA qualifiers.
That's all that we had in our 9 o'clock news bulletin. BTV News, Ikanya Rona. Hashtag BW Mindset Change. Up next is the weather update.
Good evening and welcome to today's weather forecast brought to you by Mpo Ishadar. Clear skies were observed over the entire country with hot afternoon temperatures recorded over the northern part of Botswana and warm afternoon temperatures over the southern. Now, for the current satellite picture, clear skies are visible over the entire country. And for tomorrow, cloudy becoming partly cloudy conditions are expected over southeast Gauteng, southern central and northeast districts. Over southern and Kwenin districts, partly cloudy conditions are expected. For northern central, we expect some few patches of clouds to be visible, and over the remaining districts, clear skies are expected to be visible. Furthermore, fresh to strong winds are expected over most parts of the country. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. Cold temperatures are expected in the morning over southern Khanti and Kalahari district, ranging between 6 degrees Celsius over Middle Pits and Zabon to 7 degrees Celsius over Veda and Ngojan. Over the bulk of the country, mild temperatures are expected, ranging between 8 degrees Celsius over Good Hope and Khanti to 13 degrees Celsius over Maung and Shakal. In the afternoon, mild temperatures are expected over southern southeast Gauteng, Kwenin, southern central and northeast district, ranging between 22 degrees Celsius over Silibe Pico and Francistown to 24 degrees Celsius over Jwaneng and Gaborone. For Kalahari, Khanti and northern central, warm temperatures are expected, ranging between 27 degrees Celsius over Letakane and Maitengo to 30 degrees Celsius over Tsabong and Middle Pits. For Ngamiland and Chobe, hot temperatures are expected of 31 degrees Celsius. Now, for active fires are visible over Chobe, Ngamiland, Khanti, southern and Kwenin districts. And tomorrow, the fire danger index shows dangerous to extremely dangerous as we move towards the western part of Botswana. Therefore, the public is advised to take or handle fire with caution and to avoid starting unnecessary fires. Now, continuing with the weekend forecast, for southern southeast Gauteng, Kwenin, clear skies are expected with mild afternoon temperatures on Saturday and warm afternoon temperatures on Sunday. For Khanti and Kalahari, clear skies are expected with warm afternoon temperatures on both Saturday and Sunday. For Chobe and Ngamiland, clear skies are expected with hot afternoon temperatures on both days. Lastly, for central and northeast, clear skies are expected over most areas except over northeast and southern central districts, where Few patches of clouds are expected with mild afternoon temperatures on Saturday. That's all I had for you. Have yourself a good night.